Hello and welcome to another episode of UMFS Live. My name is Nate. I'm the communications specialist at UMFS, and I am dialing in our guest today. Let's see. We're going to be joined by Jane. She is a family she's a family support partner at our Child and Family Healing Center. Let's get her dialed in real quick. We've sent the request, so Jane should be joining us shortly. We were off last week for the 4th of July holiday. I hope it was safe and fun for everyone. Jane, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon. Good to be here.
I am so glad that you were able to join us. Jane, I was just telling everyone that you are with CFHC. You're a family support partner. And I wonder if you can kick us off by telling us how long have you been family support partner and what brought you to UMFS?
Well, I've been with UMFS for 5 years, 4 as an FSP. We actually started as a one-time volunteer opportunity with my family. And I wanted to get my son and my nephew over here to do a new volunteer opportunity. And little did I know, we did a pizza dinner and games with one of the boys' cottages. And we didn't know what to expect before coming on campus. But once we got there, I was hooked. And interacting with those young men touched my heart. And I left the elementary classroom soon after that I'd been in for decades and joined UMFS. So I started as the agency receptionist for a year, and I got to meet all the champions who work daily with our kids and got to learn about the work being done by our agency. And then I found out about the Family Support Partner program and realized that I could contribute my lived experience from teaching as well as parenting my own child.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And, family support partners are so valuable in that they have, as you just mentioned, lived experiences navigating many different systems. And can you talk a little bit more then about your own experiences and how they relate to the work you do at CFHC?
Well, every child here is someone's baby. Parents have hopes and dreams for that child, and sometimes those plans take a detour or they just hit a roadblock. I know that happened to us, and it's confusing. It's not easy realizing that your path is not going to be like the path of your friends, and it can be very lonely and very isolating and not a little bit scary as you watch those kids grow up. As a parent of a young man with special needs throughout his life, I try to approach each family with the same care and respect that I'd expect for my own family. As parents, we worked with some wonderful teachers and tutors and church leaders and clinicians, and we had just unwavering support of our extended family as we began to put those pieces together for him. And it was a puzzle. But along the way, we were also met with some adults and children who were not as informed or caring. And how a family works through this is different for every family. But I have an opportunity to demonstrate to parents that they're not the only one who's struggling with this. And I hope that makes them feel a little less of an outsider and more of a player on their own child's team.
Yeah, when you say that so well, more often than not, the children, the teens, the families we work with, they've endured a number of challenges, as you outlined, and before they even get to us. What is the response you hear from the families when they learn that you have also navigated some of those challenges? And do you feel like that puts them at ease and they are able to connect with you, someone who has kind of been there?
I hope so. The family support partner role is unique. Before they get to us and they meet me, they've been around the FAP table, they've listened to medical people, everybody's told them what they should do. And the word partner in this title is taken literally. We partner with parents to offer support. The lived experience as a parent of a child with special needs is a requirement for this job. And FSP brings that lived experience in working with schools, IEP teams, doctors, family members, friends, the whole community, and that child, most importantly. And it's most rewarding to share my story, as we call it, with others, to illustrate that the challenges can be faced and that there are solutions to what seems just too big to work through. Parents connect with an FSP because they come from a place of knowledge and experience.
You're doing such a great job engaging with the families. And our CFHC staff across the board works 24/7 tirelessly to keep the young people that we work with safe. How important is it for young people and their families to have a team like this supporting them?
I think it's very important. I'm going to try to get through this without saying it takes a village, but it does. When young people come into our care, parents are entrusting them to us. That's tremendous. They want them to get better. We want them to get better. From admission on, the child is surrounded by wonderful people who uh, want them to do their very best to make progress. They're surrounded by cottage staff and the cottage manager, the school staff, the nurses, and our psychiatrists, their therapists, the recreation therapists, and the family support partner, and even food services plays a part in helping them successfully navigate treatment. This team approach across the board looks at the unique needs of each child and then makes and implements plans to ensure the healing for both the child and the family. One part of our healing process is the use of collaborative problem solving across the agency. We use it with each other as employees, and our trainers teach this to us, our staff, in both the school and the residential program. And so both those programs use it with the youth. The trainers offer a series of classes to the parents in these skills so that when our youth return home, both the parents and the youth can utilize these problem solving and conflict reducing skills.
Yeah, it's this holistic approach. All these tools we talk about it, tools for success. Um, we know that this work can be difficult, Jane. So, what keeps you coming back? How do you recharge when you're not working?
What keeps me coming back is the opportunity this work gives me to come alongside a family at probably one of their hardest times and to help guide them through a tough process. This work can be very rewarding, but it can be difficult too. I have a paperweight on my desk that was given to me by a parent at discharge that says, believe. And to do this work, I have to believe that the children that come into our care with serious mental health conditions can get better with the right treatment at the right time and in the right place. I use the word on that paperweight to remind me that there's always hope for our children and families. And self-care is so important. And I stress this to our parents. You can't do this without taking care of yourself. I found that out a couple of times the hard way. My favorite self-care is spending time in nature, whether it's in the water, on the water, or just walking the dog. If I have to be inside, cooking is a great way to regroup and one my family appreciates too.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And I know, people around campus and some of the families I've had the pleasure of speaking with, the young people, they all appreciate so much what you're doing as, your individual role, but really, again, that team approach and the idea that there's people at every level who are all focused on the common goal of providing a safe and nurturing environment for the young people we serve. Move on to our last question. I want to be mindful of your time here. Has there been a singular moment or an experience while working at CFHC that's kind of made you stop and say to yourself, we really are making a difference?
Well, needless to say, I love what I do on a daily basis with the Child and Family Healing Center. And there have been so many times that I felt grateful to be just a small part of the work there. One example of this is how the efforts of everybody in CFHC come together for the good of the families. The families learn that mental health conditions are not the fault of the child. They learn to use the strengths of their child and themselves. And the youth learn about themselves and they learn new behaviors and thinking skills. The family that's been engaged in therapy and training and is open to change leaves leaves us well on the way to being healed and ready to return to life in their own community. And I think seeing youth successfully discharged to return to their families